Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be using this little lawn fawn stamp. There's the two gingerbread men, and I'm first going to be stamping the Oh Snap sentiment with the Hero Arts wet cement ink on a piece of craft cardstock that measures 4 inches by 5¼ inches. And I'm stamping this diagonally, so I'm creating my background, which, as you guys know, is one of my favorite things to do, is to create my own backgrounds. I rarely use pattern paper anymore because I like to incorporate different techniques into my cards. So I'm just going to keep stamping this and kind of just create that pattern. It's not perfect, the lines aren't straight and not even or anything like that. So because part of it is going to be covered up, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. And if you want more tone on tone with the ink, you could always stamp this with Versamark, because then the sentiment in the background is going to be a little bit lighter. So I'm going to first stamp my images. So I'm going to stamp both of those gingerbread men on a piece of Coordinations 110-pound cardstock, and I'm using the Tuxedo black ink because I am going to be coloring this in with Copic markers. So I'm just making sure that those stamps are really inked up well, and then I'll go ahead and stamp it down. And then I made sure that the ink was completely dried before I started coloring it in with my Copics. I'm just going to do some really simple coloring. So I'm going to start by coloring in the entire image with the E31, which is a really light tan color. And then I'm going to go around the edge of each of the cookies with the E33. It's going to kind of give it that look so that it looks like it's baked. You know how cookies get a little bit more brown around the edges. And I'm doing the same thing for both of those images. And then I'm going to take my E31 once again and just blend both of those colors together. It's just going to even out the color and make it look finished. Alright, so now we get to move on to the fun part of the background. I have these Ranger foil sheets, and this is the vintage pack. And then I'm taking this collage glue stick, and I'm just going to add some of the glue stick on to my cardstock. It doesn't really take very much of it, so I'm just adding it randomly on here. And then I'm going to take the foil sheet, and you want to have the colored side up, so the color side that you want to see up, and then you just peel it off and you can see how it gets that vintagey look on there. So this is about as much mixed media as I do. So if I can do this, you can do this. It creates really awesome foil on your card, and it's easy to do. You don't need any machines or anything like that. You just need the glue stick and the foil sheets. And all of these supplies that I'm using will be linked below. There are also some other colors of these foil vintage sheets, or the foil sheets, so you can create some fun looking cards. I have another package that has like actual colors because this one is more browns and golds. And I think there are actually a few new ones as well, so I'll link all those below. So then I decided to take some more of my glue stick and add it all around the edges because that was just not enough foil on the card for me. I wanted some more shine on there. And you can see how I'm going over it kind of with that same area because there's still foil on the sheet. The parts where you can see through, that means that the foil is gone, but there are still the parts on there. And especially because I want it to look vintagey, it doesn't matter if there's some parts that are a little bit more spacious than others. So I just think this is a really cool technique, especially to add to your backgrounds. I was watching a demonstration that Tim Holtz did with that glue stick, which is why I used that, because I've tried using it with other adhesives before and it's really kind of complicated and it doesn't always work the best, but I really liked how this one worked and it was really easy to do. Alright, so I'm just finishing up. I added that all around the edges, as you can see. So once I'm happy with how much is on there, I'm going to go ahead and finish up my card. I die cut this circle. It's a stitched circle from Simon Says Stamp out of a piece of white cardstock. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment on here, so I'm using the exact same stamp set. It's the one that says Happy Christmas in parentheses. So I'll add that to my clear acrylic block, and then I'm stamping this with the Tuxedo black ink as well. And I'm going to stamp it towards the bottom because I'm going to put my gingerbread man on top. So then I'll stick this down to my card, and I kind of covered up that foil that was in the middle because I wasn't really happy with it. I like it more around the edge. So then I'll add my craft piece to my white A2 size card base. And then I'm going to adhere the little gingerbread men down. I'm just going to squirt on the back of them a little bit of multi-medium matte finish. You don't need very much of this adhesive because it is a really strong adhesive. And you could also use some 3D foam squares to pop these little gingerbread men up on your card for added dimension. And then I'll get the little broken piece of that poor gingerbread man and add that to the card as well. And then the last step, I'm going to add a May Arts Natural Twine bow. So I cut 2 pieces the exact same size, and I am going to tie this around my card base. And I tie it into a knot first so that it's easier to tie the actual bow onto the card. Then I just want to make sure that the loops are even. And then I can trim off the excess. And then that is my finished card for today. So I really hope you enjoyed this vintagey looking Christmas card with the foil. An easy method to add foil onto your cards. Make sure that you're subscribed to my channel if you're not already. And thank you so much for joining me for this video. I will see you back here next time. Bye guys!